What's up guys, Mark Johnson here, back again with another video. And in today's video, we're gonna talk about the pros and cons of living in / moving to Orlando, Florida. So let's go ahead and get into it. So before we get started, I just wanna say that you're gonna find a lot of similarities today between both the pros and cons of the video. And that reason is because a lot of the reasons everyone moves here is also many of the reasons why it can be difficult to live here sometimes. So I just wanna go ahead and put that disclaimer out there. All right guys, so pro number one, and well, it's the main reason everyone moves here, so let's just get it out of the way. It's entertainment. Everyone wants to be close to that magic, that pixie dust. They want to get sprinkled with it, and they want to feel like they're on vacation all the time, but in the city that they live in. So you have Disney and Universal, and SeaWorld, and just a short trip away, you can find yourself at Legoland or in Tampa at Busch Gardens. There's so many things to do here that we've been named the theme park capital of the world. But besides that, there's so much more to do here. You have the Amway Center, which hosts all sorts of events. You have the Orlando Magic, the Orlando Solar Bears, which is our minor league hockey affiliate. You also have escape games and little, family-run theme parks. And there's just so much to do here that you literally can never run out of things to do. All you have to do is get out there and search for it if you want to find it. Speaking of getting out there and finding things to do, there's a website called thewildernessexplorer.wordpress.com. It's run by a friend of mine, Will Duff. I'll try and link it here somewhere. But that website's going to provide you with restaurants, shopping, all sorts of things to do here in Orlando that are not theme park related. So go ahead and give that a look as well. So our second pro of moving to Orlando is going to be the weather. You are going to find that it's the perfect weather year round here. You might find it a little bit too hot sometimes, but you'll never find yourself too cold, that's for sure. We like to say that we have about 11 months of summer and 1 month of winter, but when that 1 month of winter is going to be, you really don't know. So you're going to find that it's the perfect day to go to the beach or go to that water park. SeaWorld has Aquatica, Disney has Typhoon Lagoon, Universal has Volcano Bay now. There are so many things to do, but you can also go to the beach because there are beaches everywhere. So I'm telling you, the weather is perfect here year round. You never have to worry about it. You'll never be cold. It's definitely not going to snow here. I can promise you that. So our second pro is going to be the weather. Now, our third pro for why you want to live here in Orlando, and this might be a little bit controversial, is the cost of living. Now, I've already done a video on the cost of living. I'll go ahead and post it right up here for you somewhere so you can find that. And what you're going to find that is we have no state income tax. The average price of a home here is around $270,000. And again, you'll find all that in the video. But the main point I want to get to is the fact that here in Orlando, there's so much to do. And obviously, it's going to depend on where you're coming from, like a New York or California. But in New York or California, you have all those options to do there as well. And it's much, much, much more expensive. As opposed to maybe coming from somewhere in the Midwest or from just a smaller town in general, there's nothing to do, and that's why your cost of living is so low. So Orlando really provides you with that happy medium of there's so much to do here, you'll never be bored, you'll never run out of things to find to do. However, it's not gonna cost you the arm and a leg that it costs you at New York or California or some of those places as well. All right guys, so now we're gonna transfer away from the pros and on over to the cons. And number one, the biggest con here, and please do not underestimate this, is the traffic. The traffic here is so terrible, like it's so bad. And part of that is because construction. There's construction here on all the roads year round. Like it never stops, especially on I-4 going towards downtown Orlando. The construction and what they try to keep doing with ramps going on over other ramps and little 4-lever clove things. I don't know, man. Like the construction here on these roads is kind of ridiculous, but also the traffic is even more ridiculous, partially due to the construction, but mostly due to the fact that this is a tourism driven, economy down here. So you're going to find that half the people that are down here right now don't even live here, honestly. So they have no idea where they're going. They're relying on a GPS. Now, honestly, I'm not attacking anybody right now, but I just want to say that because of that, the traffic gets really backed up. You're going to find that people don't know where they're going. You could be on a 4-lane highway and someone's going 35 in the left lane trying to swerve across 4 lanes to an exit because, they just realized they were where they were supposed to go. Then you have somebody who lives here and is a local and really knows the roads super well, and he's tired of, being behind those people. So he's going 70 on the right-hand lane, which is the slow lane, and he's swerving across 4 lanes of traffic the other way, you know, weaving in and out. People have really bad road rage here. Like, that's just a secondary effect. I'm going to throw that out there. But yeah, so traffic is the number one con, and it depends on where you're at, what time of the day, but it's honestly bad like all the time. But for me, I live about 15 minutes away from Disney. I've worked for Disney for a couple years now, and it doesn't matter if it's 15 minutes away. It doesn't take me 15 minutes to get there, that's for sure. There are some days where, you know, I'm coming home from work and it'll take me an hour plus to get home, and that's just the way it is, you know, especially after like Fant goes off at studios and the park's closing and you got everyone flooding out at one time. The exits just get flooded with people. Or if you're over by Sand Lake, which is where Universal Studios is located at, around, you know, nighttime, whenever, you know, they're closing down their park, or, you know, I guess I shouldn't say at what time, because it gets backed up at all times because there's people constantly coming and going from the parks. So I have to throw that one out there. It is the biggest con of living here, is the traffic, because you will stress yourself out thinking that you're going to get in a wreck every 5 seconds, because there's probably a wreck 5 seconds away from you that just happened. Tons of fender benders. Just really be prepared for the traffic and the construction that goes on with I-4 and this town constantly evolving and growing, which is another reason you want to move here anyways, because it is constantly evolving and growing, and it's, you know, part of you moving here as well is what makes it grow. So I just want to throw that out there, and make sure that you really understand that that is the biggest con to living here. The other ones are what they are. So our second con, and well, like I said, it's going to tie directly into the pro. It's the weather. Now, I know I said it's beautiful year-round here, and it is beautiful year-round. I have the sun right outside right now, and I can promise you it's a beautiful day to go to the pool or the water park or the beach, wherever you want to go to. But here's the thing, because it's so hot and it's sunshine so much around here, you're going to be looking at an energy bill for your AC because you're running it so much. That's around $150 to $200 every single month. Now, I know that's a lot for a lot of people because, you know, some places you don't have to run your AC at all because the weather's 70 degrees and beautiful, or it's so cold you might be running a heater. Now, you're not running a heater here, I can tell you that. But the con of the weather is that it comes at the price of your energy bill. Also, you might just find that it gets too hot for you sometimes. I'm from Alabama, and well, I thought the heat would be no different, and I can promise you the heat's different here. The humidity hits completely different, and you're going to want to make sure that you stay hydrated a lot down here. So, our third con, and again, it's directly correlated to the pro, is the cost of living. Now, if you didn't get to see that video from when I tagged it last time, I'll go ahead and tag it up here again for you. But the cost of living here, like I said, it depends on where you're from, how you feel about it, whether you feel that it's great or whether you feel that, you know, it's way too expensive. But what you need to know is that living here, quite frankly, is expensive. Because you have all those options to do, you have to find a way to budget properly in order to, you know, find your way around all of the entertainment and, you know, wonderful things that Orlando has to offer to you. The main thing being is you're going to find that if you want to rent here, let's say you want to rent an apartment and you're alone, well, renting a 1-bedroom apartment here, and I'm going to say that you're not even in, you know, the city, you could be looking at $1,200. You could be looking at living just outside of Orlando, and it's still going to be around $1,200 for a 1-bedroom apartment. I know friends personally that have families, and they still have roommates, and they have their family with them. So it gets very difficult to live here sometimes on a cost of living scale, depending on what your wage is. Now, like I said, it depends completely on how much you're getting paid at your job, obviously. But for a lot of people, they move down here to work for Disney or Universal or, you know, one of the many things that it's been their lifelong dream to do. And unfortunately, sometimes the cost of living here compared to the cost of what you're getting paid just doesn't really equal out. I know plenty of people working 2 jobs at all times just to afford living here, but honestly, it's what you have to do if you really want to live here, and it's a great place to live. So that's going to do it for the video today. I didn't want to make this a really long one, honestly. I just wanted to give you a quick few pros and a quick few cons, and I know that they were similar for, you know, basically the same things, But the reason that is because the things that make Orlando great are the things that make Orlando difficult to deal with sometimes, like I said earlier. And honestly, I love living here. I've absolutely enjoyed every minute of my time here. I met my wife here. You know, there's so much Orlando has to offer. You just have to get out there and experience it for yourself. I highly encourage you to move here. If you need help moving here, I'm a licensed real estate agent. I'll be more than happy to help you with that. But you know, like I said, it's a great place to live. I highly encourage you to live here. It's beautiful year round, and I promise you, you won't regret it. But just be prepared to deal with those cons as well as those pros that I said about moving here. Now, that's it for me. I'll see you guys in the next one.